Today I will introduce the first African American Supreme Court Justice, Marshall Thurgood. Before Marshall became a Supreme Court Justice, he was well known for many cases that he argued as a lawyer. Marshall Thurgood argued 32 cases before the Supreme Court, more than anyone else in history. Today you will learn the incredible impact that he had on our justice system. I have learned many things that I did not know about Marshall Thurgood. Today I will tell you about Marshall Thurgood. He was born on July 2nd in 1908, Baltimore, Maryland. Received his law degree from Howard University. Marshall Thurgood earned an important place in American history. He was a Supreme Court Justice and civil rights activist. He provided legal counsel for the NAACP. As an associate of the Supreme Court, had a distinctive jurisprudence. He helped guide litigation that destroyed the legal underpinnings of Jim Crow segregation. He had unusual attentiveness to practical consideration. He was persistent. Now you know a little about Marshall Thurgood's background. Let me tell you about some of his famous cases. Marshall fought and helped end legal segregation in the United States. He fought for equal voting rights. He also fought for equal housing and transportation. Mr. Marshall led a civil rights case called Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that the separate education was unequal. As you can see, Marshall Thurgood was a judicial leader and did a great work in the case of segregation and equal rights. His accomplishments in the judicial system will never be forgotten. In summary, Marshall Thurgood was a leader in the judicial system for equal rights for all and was very good at his job. He was a tireless leader and fighter for equal rights. No justice has been more libertarian in terms of opposing government regulation of speech or private sexual conduct. Nor has any justice been more equal in terms of advancing a view of the Constitution that imposes positive duties on government to provide certain important benefits to people: education, legal services, access to courts, regardless of their ability to pay for them. Until his retirement from the highest court in the land, Justice Marshall established a record for supporting the voiceless American. Having honed his skills since the case against the University of Maryland, he developed a profound sensitivity to injustice by way of the crucible of racial discrimination in this country. As an associate Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall left a great legacy.